Welcome back. In the previous session, we have done pointers and we have understand how pointers work. Moreover, we have seen the implementation of pointers with a program. Today, we are doing the next topic, which is a reference. Now, I will recommend you, if you have not watched the lesson on pointers, do watch it because without that, you will not understand what this reference means. So, talking about reference, the concept is very simple. You just have to understand this, that reference is simply just another name for an already existing variable. Simple concept is, if you have a variable already, let's say I have int a. I have a variable int a. I will just write another name for the same variable. That is, I will write int b, for example. Now, looking at it, you can say that both of these variables are different, which is absolutely correct. But using reference, I will write another name of the same variable. How? Using the concept of reference. So let's see how does it work. Now think of something like, for example, if you have a variable a, suppose. Now this variable will have a content. Let's say it has 5 inside it, and this variable will have a memory location. Now to access this 5 or this location, I need the variable. Fine. This is the original variable. So I'll write original variable over here. Now what I can do is I can make a reference variable for it, reference variable, which will be b over here. And with this b, I can access both of them. Like firstly, I will access the location, then only I will get the value. So you can access the content of a variable through either the original variable or through the reference variable. For example, if I write here in the same example, if I take int a is, let's say, 5. The reference variable, how will I make is I will write int. I will give the and sign like this. I will write the next variable, which is b, which is a reference variable, and I will make it equal to a. This means that currently b is a reference variable to a. Now, one thing here people will get confused about, that it does seems like it is same as pointers. That's why I ask you to watch the lesson on pointers before. They're not actually same. They have a couple of differences. Many people think that a reference and pointers are same, and they're not able to figure out the difference between them because it is acting like the same thing only. Well, there are 3 to 4 major differences. Firstly, when you have a reference, we must initialize it when we create it. Initialization is important. Like if I write here int and a equal to b, as you can see, I am initializing this reference to something. Without initialization, it's not possible. But whereas pointers can be initialized at any time, I can simply write int star x semicolon. That's it. So this is one thing. So this is one difference. Next difference is you cannot have null reference. You can't have null reference. What does it mean? Like there must be a reference connected to some variable. Pointers can be null. Pointers can be null. It's fine. Perfectly fine. But a reference cannot be null. If you are referring to something, there must be something which you are referring to. If you try to understand that in a real life example, if you are referring to something, there must be something you are referring to. So if there is nothing only, then the thing doesn't make any sense. So reference cannot be null. Pointers can be null. Perfectly fine. We don't have any issues with that. But a reference can't be null. That is the second difference. Third difference you can say is that if you initialize a reference to something, then you cannot change it. You can't change that. Can't change. Like for example, let's say a is referring to b. Next time you cannot make a is referring to c. This is not possible when it is the case of reference. But pointers, you can point to any object at any time. There is no problem with that. But a reference, if you have referred to something, it should be that variable only or that object only. You cannot refer to any other object. Like you cannot change the process. So these are 3 major differences between pointers and reference. To understand reference much more better, let's try to see a program of how it works. So here I have a very simple program about reference. And first what I did is I made 2 normal variables, int a and double b. And next, this is the reference. Here I have used the and sign. V is a reference variable for a. X is a reference variable for b. Then I have given a value 2 to a. Then I'm printing the a. So this will print 2 without any problems. Then for the b, I have given 17.5. So this will also print 17.5. No issues with that. Then we have the value of reference v. Now what I have in v? V has a. That is, it's referring to a. So what it is referring? It's referring that I have v. I have the location of the v, that is with and, but I am only printing the v. So what does v has? V will have the actual value of what a has. Since I have a variable which is referring to another variable, so I also have its location, I also have its value. So when I'm printing the v, I should get the number 2, and I'm printing the x, I should get the number 17.5. So it's just like the same thing. Like it's the same concept, it's the same content or the same value, but I'm fetching it through a different variable. So that is what we call as a reference. So if I run the code, this should be the output, that is 2 to 17.5, 17.5. So as you can see, 2 to 17.5 and 17.5. The basic concept here is that I have a variable, I am directly referring to another variable, but with a different name. So that means whatever content that variable has, whether it's its location and the value, will be coming to this variable which is referring to it. And then if I print this variable, I can access those elements also because I'm referring to it. So I already have those values. So I can simply print it out or do any operation with that. So this is the concept of a reference. If you have any doubt regarding this, you can put them in the comment section.